Hi everybody, how are you guys doing today? I know it's a little bit cloudy, so we thought we could do something inside. I want to give a big shout out to our company. Our last video on Monday, we reached 2,600 people. That was absolutely fabulous. I think that we can do even better. So like, comment, share our post, especially during our video today. If you have any questions at any time, shoot us a comment. We got someone in the back who's gonna let us know. We can answer those questions and get really down deep into some insects and arachnids. And at the end of the show, we actually have a really special activity that we're gonna share with everybody. So you and the kids can take a little time, maybe color the sheet, answer a couple questions. So if you haven't grabbed the kids already, make sure to go grab them. We need them in the room so they can interact with us and learn about some of those creepy crawlies you guys might be seeing now that you're down at the house for a little while, doing some social distancing. You might even interact with them in your backyard. So I'm gonna give you a second, grab those kids, bring them in, maybe grab a snack, and we're gonna get started with our two very special guests today.
And Sierra, we have 20 people watching already.
20 people, oh my goodness. I am so excited for you guys to meet our first guest. She is a lovely, beautiful friend of mine, which we probably might have seen before. I know some people aren't the biggest fan of her, but she is the beautiful Tarantula. This is a golden knee choco tarantula, and she's part of the arachnid family. We're gonna go in deep about all those different things that make her an arachnid and not an insect. The first thing that's gonna be super important, well, it's gonna be those legs that she has. Kiddos, I'm gonna need your guys' help. Will you help me count her legs? Let's start right in the back. We'll start here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait a second, my friends. I thought tarantulas only had 8 legs. Why does she have 10? Oh, I know. It's actually because she has 2 arms. Take a look at these two right here. Those are her arms. Those are going to be really important for when she is eating. Now, being at home, I bet you guys are enjoying some really fun food. But do you think a tarantula likes to eat bagel bites? No, she's not going to eat bagel bites. She doesn't have the mouth for that. Instead, she actually has a mouth for eating smoothies. I am very partial on a strawberry banana smoothie. What's your guys' favorite type of smoothie? Comment below, let me know, because I don't know if you're gonna want to be dining with a tarantula anytime soon. What she's gonna do is in her burrow underground, she's gonna be hanging out where she has laid a beautiful web. She's gonna have a web just like a carpet out front.
And we have an answer. We have milkshakes. Some people like milkshakes, and Harley is watching. Sarah Bernard likes strawberry banana. No cricket smoothies yet, though.
No cricket smoothies. Well, you have to like a cricket smoothie to eat with a tarantula, because that carpet right out front of her house, it's gonna act kind of like a doorbell. It's gonna say, ding dong, dinner is here. She's gonna be able to feel the vibrations of that cricket right out front, where she's gonna jump with those beautiful arms of hers and snatch up that cricket. And this is when her favorite type of thing to eat, those smoothies and those milkshakes, she's gonna use her fangs and she's gonna inject venom straight into that insect, where it's gonna kind of slushy and slurry. It's gonna become a nice liquefied snack. And then she's actually gonna suck it up with her fangs, with her mouth. So she doesn't have mandibles. She doesn't have a jaw like you and I. She is gonna use her fangs right in the front there. She's gonna slurp it up just like you guys enjoy your milkshakes and your strawberry banana smoothies. She's gonna enjoy crickets, grasshoppers, beetles, all sorts of those different creepy crawlies that might be out her front door. So the legs are really important. You can take a look at those. You might actually see all of this hair. All those little tiny hairs that are all over this tarantula, those are really important because they're actually one of the best ways she's gonna defend herself. If she were to be upset or frightened, she would actually take those legs and she's gonna rub them back and forth, and she's gonna cause all of those hairs to float up into the air. And guess what? It's gonna make us cough and sneeze, which isn't the best thing to be doing right now. So if you happen to see a tarantula, make sure to leave them alone. But that itching and burning feeling, it's gonna cause that predator to want to leave her alone. Now you can also take a look at her different body parts. So we have those important legs, we have those fangs. Right on top are those beautiful little eyes of hers. And then this portion right here where all of those legs are attaching, that's her cephalothorax. It's a really big word, but basically it's all the good stuff. Right where those legs, the head is, it's all combined into one part. And then this cute little round portion, that's the abdomen.
We do have a question. Monique Gaffney's daughter wants to know if they'll eat stink bugs.
Ooh, that's a good question. Stink bugs. Well, if it comes knocking and she's hungry, she might just try to make a stinky smoothie. Ooh, not on my menu. No, thank you.
We have a lot of viewers right now. We're up to 53,
Ooh,
Sierra.
53. Oh my goodness, guys. I'm so glad to see you. And so is my friend, the Choco Tarantula. Now, she's about 8 years old, and being a tarantula, well, being a female, she could actually live to be about 15 years old. But if you were a boy tarantula, you might not live past 3 years old. And that's because female tarantulas are actually gonna use daddy tarantulas as dinner. She's gonna make sure that she has a really big meal, and she's going to lay a lot of eggs, like a couple hundred eggs. And that big daddy meal that she just had, it's gonna make sure to be able to feed all of her babies. So in the world of tarantulas, it's certainly better to be a girl than to be a boy tarantula. Now our next guests, actually, I have a boy and a girl. So I don't know if we have any boys and girls watching in the audience.
We do, and actually London and Hudson want to know if tarantulas are poisonous.
Oh, that's a great question. So there's actually a difference. So tarantulas are venomous. So I like to think of venomous as a V. And venomous, you have to have fangs. So you actually have to bite into something. Where poisonous, that starts with a P, and that is something that you actually ingest. So if you eat it, that's how you're going to get poison.
And we have a lot of questions coming in. Thank you, guys. John B. Fuller wants to know, do all tarantulas live in the desert?
Ooh, very good question. So tarantulas actually are going to be found on almost every continent except for Antarctica. It gets a little bit chilly there for them, but you can find them in the desert and the rainforest, all sorts of different landscapes, probably even your backyard, honestly. All right, guys, are you ready to meet an insect? So remember, we talked about arachnids. We have those 8 legs, that cephalothorax, and we have also the abdomen. So our next 2 friends, their names are Bonnie and Clyde, and I thought we could learn a little about a creepy crawly you may have some experience with. Say hello to Bonnie and Clyde. They are Madagascar hissing cockroaches. Ooh. Now, in my right hand, oh, now you moved over, but this right here, this is Bonnie, and right behind her, this is Clyde. Now, you might be asking, how in the world can I tell the difference between these 2 cockroaches? It's actually pretty simple. Bonnie here, she doesn't have any large bumps. So on her head, this black plate right there, she just has 2 small little spots. Where if you take a look at Clyde's head, whoa, look at those horns. He actually has 2 horns on his head. That's how you can tell them apart. Those boys are gonna have those large bumps, and that sweet little girl right there, you can hardly even notice them. Now they are insects, and being an insect, you have a little bit of a different body than an arachnid. So you actually have 3 body parts. We have the head, the thorax, and then the abdomen. Now on my friends here, it's a little hard to tell being a cockroach because it kind of looks like all one big body part. But up here we got that big black head of theirs, and then our nice middle thorax part, and then our abdomen down here at the bottom. And if you take a look at, go ahead.
Sorry,
okay.
I'm interrupting.
What's our question?
Emma says, hi, sister, and wants to know if they would live without their heads.
Oh my goodness. Hi, Emma. I'm so glad you guys are watching. And they can live without their heads. They could actually live almost a week without their heads. And it's actually because they have 2 heads. They have one up front right there and another one down low. Honestly, the only reason they don't last longer than a week is because they can't drink any water without that head. They have 2 brains. 2 brains. So they're still able to walk around even though they might be missing a part.
We're going to jump back to tarantulas real quick because George wants to know if all tarantulas have hairy legs. And I'll give you 2 questions.
Ooh.
Megan also wants to know, do the cockroaches use their horns for anything?
Ooh, awesome. All right, so most tarantulas are gonna be hairy. It also depends on what type they are and where they're living. But we have many tarantulas here at the zoo, and they are all pretty hairy. It's gonna be important to protect themselves and to help them move about. And then what was our cockroach question? Oh, those horns. So those horns, I don't know if they have any specific purpose, but it sure does help us be able to tell our boys from our girls. But if you take a look at that head plate, right below those horns, you can see Clyde's pretty little face. And check it out, those are antennae. So insects have antennae. They have 2. Those are going to be really important to help them be able to find where they're going. They're actually moving theirs around so that way they can know, oh, there's no more to go. There's no further place for them to travel. They are sitting nicely on my fingers. If they were down on the ground or flat on the table, they would know that they can keep on going without accidentally falling.
Libby and Annabelle want to know if these cockroaches escaped, could they live in San Diego? Could they survive here?
Whoa, you guys are so strong with all of your questions. I'm loving these ideas and all of this great questions that are happening. So cockroaches, well, they can pretty much survive anywhere. So unfortunately, we don't want to let these guys out at all, especially because I think we have enough cockroaches, right? In fact, do you guys have cockroaches at home? It's okay, don't answer. You don't have to answer. But guess what? If you do, and you find them while you're in your house right now, it's really important that you guys don't squish them, okay? Because when you squish them, it sends out a little signal. You know what it says? It says, help, help, help. And then the entire family of cockroaches, they're gonna come running. And guess what? They're gonna make more babies. They're gonna make more cockroaches. So if you find a cockroach, it's really important. You don't squish it. You wanna catch it, take it outside, and go over to your neighbor's house with it, okay?
And Allie wants to know, can they lay eggs? Megan wants to know, how long can they live?
Whoa, great questions. Okay, so Madagascar hissing cockroaches are a pretty crazy insect because they actually give birth to live hissing cockroaches. They're very unusual. Most insects, they are going to have a pupae stage, and they're gonna lay eggs, and they're gonna metamorphosis, maybe like caterpillars. Yeah, so Madagascar hissing cockroaches, a little bit different. They're kind of special in that sense. And then what was our other question?
And how long can they live, and can they jump at you?
Ooh, so Bonnie and Clyde here, they could easily live to be about 5 years old being here with us in care. But out in the wild, they might not live as long. Whoa, you can see all of his little legs there. if you take a quick look, you can actually see all the hooks on his legs. That's what makes them into such great climbers. But out in the wild, hissing cockroach, they might not last 5 years. And that's because they tend to be a very delicious snack for lemurs. Lemurs are found on that island as well. And boy, do they love snacking on these guys. But they actually have a defense. So I called them hissing cockroaches, right? They do indeed hiss, and they're gonna make that hissing noise actually when they are afraid. If they're frightened, what they're gonna do is get together with their family and they're gonna make a giant hissing noise. I need everybody's help at home. On the count of 3, can you make the best hissing noise as loud as you can? 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I just got goosebumps. What kind of animal did we just sound like, guys? A snake, right? Yeah, we sounded like a giant snake. And out in the wild, these hissing cockroaches, they're gonna have a couple thousand brothers and sisters. I don't know about you. I have 1 brother, and that's enough for me. Could you imagine having thousands of brothers and sisters? I couldn't. But it's really important in the wild for them because the more sounds you can hiss, the bigger the snake you're gonna be. But they don't make that hissing noise with their mouth. Take a look actually at their body. See those little marks down the side? Perfect. Those are actually sphericals. Kind of a crazy word, but what it is they're tiny little openings in their exoskeleton where they can actually push air. Kind of like how you and I breathe out of our mouth. Well, they can use their body and push that air right out of those holes and make that noise, which is pretty impressive. Now that exoskeleton is important. It's what's gonna help protect them and keep them nice and tough. But if you can see the difference between Bonnie and Clyde, they're different sizes and different colors. Not because that they are different types of cockroach. It's actually because they are just different ages, different stages. As they grow, they actually grow out of their skeleton. Ooh, I know. Good thing we don't grow out of our skeleton and our bones grow with us. But what they do is they molt. They actually pop out of their skeleton. And guess what? They're gonna be ghost white when they do. It's a little creepy. But just after a few hours, they are then going to turn that beautiful golden, brown, black color and be able to blend in nicely down on the ground out in Madagascar, out in the rainforest. Now we do have something at the end for you guys. For everyone that is watching, you guys have been doing great questions. I am so impressed. For everyone at home, we actually have a coloring sheet for you guys. And you can answer some of the questions that we talked about today. You can learn about the difference between the arachnids and those insects. Now, if you were paying attention and asking those incredible questions, I bet you guys can do this so easily. Now, we also want to thank you guys for watching. We want to make sure that you share us, like us, follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. We're going to be on both today. And we're doing this actually all next week and probably into the future. We're going to be live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 o'clock. And if you tune in on Friday, you actually might see a really special guest for us. She's actually the founder of the company, the myth, the legend, the woman, Carla Majeski. So go ahead and tune in then. And I want to give you guys a great big huge thank you here from Pacific Animal Productions. Bonnie and Clyde are saying bye to you guys.